In a peaceful village, surrounded by lush green fields and the joyful chirping of birds, a wise teacher observed his brilliant student BT. BT was diligent, hardworking, and always strived for perfection in everything he did. But he had one weakness: fear of change. He clung tightly to old ways, afraid to step out of his comfort zone. The teacher knew that without the courage to innovate, BT's potential would always remain limited. So, to awaken a spark of transformation within him, the teacher chose to share a story that could change how BT viewed the world. Long ago, in the very same village, two close friends named Steve and Karan were unemployed. Each day, they sat quietly under the large banyan tree on the village's edge, watching time pass. One day, they noticed village women struggling to carry heavy pots of water from a distant pond, the weight bending their shoulders. That image stirred something inside them. Why not help them and maybe earn a little income too, they thought. So Steve and Karan started a new venture, delivering water directly to homes for a small fee per pot. Surprisingly, the villagers were thrilled. Grateful to no longer fetch water themselves, they supported the idea. For Steve and Karan, this simple job sparked pride. They were finally doing something meaningful for their community. But this was only the beginning. One day, while the water delivery business was running smoothly, Steve visited a nearby village and noticed something unusual. Potters there crafted water pots with long spouts, making pouring easier. In that moment, an idea struck like lightning. What if he built a water channel from the pond straight to the village? No more carrying pots. It wouldn't just be convenient, it would transform the village's entire way of life. Eyes bright with excitement, Steve rushed home to share his vision with Karan. But Karan shook his head. Too expensive, too risky. What if it fails? He warned. He chose the safer path: keep carrying water, keep things steady. But Steve was different. He didn't want to spend his life doing what everyone else did. He believed that without taking bold steps, nothing great could happen. Despite the doubt and the loneliness, Steve began his journey. With bare hands and an iron will, he set out to build. No one believed in him. But just when everyone turned their backs, Steve stepped forward, driven by the belief that only change could create something truly extraordinary. Steve faced endless challenges: material shortages, technical mistakes, collapsed sections. Each failure felt like a blow, not just to his body but to his spirit. Yet, he never gave up. He learned, adapted, and improved every detail. Slowly, the first stream of water flowed through his handmade channel, cool, clean, and full of meaning. The villagers came running, stunned to see water arriving at their very doors. No more aching shoulders, no more endless walks to the pond. Steve hadn't just changed his life, he had changed the lives of everyone. And Karan? He stood quietly, watching the water flow by, filled with regret for not believing in the unfamiliar. After finishing the story, the teacher looked at BT. Gone was his usual stern expression. Now he looked thoughtful, hopeful. "BT, do you see a little of yourself in Steve?" he asked gently. "You're talented, more hardworking than anyone, but your fear of change is holding you back." Steve's story wasn't just about success, it was a reminder that courage to innovate can open up a whole new world. If Steve hadn't dared to walk alone, the village would have stayed stuck in hardship. "So, what about you?" the teacher asked. "Will you stay in your safe zone forever or take a step toward breakthrough?" BT sat in silence. For the first time, he didn't just understand, he felt the true power of innovation. He began to see different ideas, not as threats, but as opportunities. Opportunities not just to do things well, but to do them better, to change how things worked. That was the moment BT began to change. Hard work is the foundation, but it's not enough on its own. Steve proved that when you combine effort with a forward-thinking mindset, miracles can happen. It's not just about working harder, but working smarter. Because of that, Steve didn't just succeed, he uplifted an entire community. BT finally understood this. He began to see every task as a chance to improve, to innovate, to create real value. And what about you? Will you keep walking the old path, or will you be the one to carve a new road? If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comment show, has smart work made a difference in your life?